Good evening, friends. Welcome back. It's time for the next episode of Lacerda Week, which may or may not end tonight after the difficulty I've had with this game. No, it's not difficult. It's not difficult. The problem that I have a very good memory. I remember lots of things with games. Hello, everyone. We're playing Weather Machine tonight, by the way, which you can tell from the thing. And look, the part that I struggle with is not the actual learning of the game so much as it is understanding how to be good at it. And most of the time, I pick up a game pretty quickly and then I can start thinking about how to be good at it. With this game, and with most Lacerda games, it feels like it takes a while to actually get to a point where I'm like, yes, I think I understand what I need to do and how all the things interlock, and ergo I now know what I need to do to be good at it. It's a very interesting experience. Very, very interesting. So what are we going to do today? We're going to play Weather Machine. We're going to play the solo mode of Weather Machine. So here we are all set up, and I might... Do we have any zoom? Probably not going to zoom any further than that. This is our zoom set up for that. This is those areas. This is that area. Crazy. And then we also have my individual player board. So what is Weather Machine? All of the other Lacerdas that I've been playing have been sort of pretty easy to understand the theme. I mean, Inventions was a little bit odd, but this one's a really cool concept. Like, on Mars is about colonising Mars, great. Lisboa is about rebuilding the city of Lisbon after a really bad period for it, great. Inventions, Evolution of Ideas, city building game, Speakeasy, Mob, Prohibition Era, great. This one's a little bit more wild. It's about a guy who's made a crazy weather machine in the world, and that weather machine has gone and fucked up the whole of the world and all of its weather patterns, which is bad. So, so this bit in the middle here is the actual weather machine. So if we zoom in on that, this is machine. It's firing out gizmos and gadgets to try and make the weather better, but it's actually done an awful job and it's made the weather significantly worse. And that is represented over here by these things here. These are weather events that are currently going on. So there's one weather event for each of these 5 weather patterns. We've got rain, wind, sun, don't know, and snow. I'm sure there's a thing for it in here somewhere explaining what it is. Yes. So this weather machine has gone crazy, and now the government has gone, well, we need to step in here and try and fix this. So this is the weather machine. This is the government over here. And then this section over here is the research and development lab, where we're going to try and fix the problem that this guy, Latif, created. So this is Latif's machine. This is Latif's workshop. This is the government. And this is research and development of our own laboratory, where we're going to try and fix the problem. Cool. This is a supply area where we can pick up supplies from. That's it. It's a worker placement game. It's kind of simple. However, as with most Lacerdas, it's not that simple. It's Friday night, so that means it's sarsaparilla night tonight. Oof, it's glorious. So this is my board. All right, and on my board we have a number of little areas that we are going to be using. The first is my robots. So these are little robots that we can build, which is awesome. And building the robots actually gets us an immediate benefit. And then we store those robots over here in our workshop. Now currently our workshop just has these 3 things, but we are about to grab one more and add to it in a second. But this is where we store our research papers. They're not actually called that. I'm going to make sure I try and get the names right for this, just in case anyone's watching who's never played before. They're not called research papers. No, they are. They're called research tokens. Okay, and what is that one there called? That's called publishing a paper. Okay, great. So these are research tokens. So we're going to fill these up, and when we have 3 research tokens into a specific weather pattern, such as this one, we can then publish a paper. And publishing a paper will give everyone more insight into what's happening with the weather patterns in the world, and hopefully that will make it easier for us to correct the weather patterns. Hopefully. Maybe not so much. Now, this solo version of the game is a little different to the multiplayer. It's probably the thing that has made me not love these ones as much as Speakeasy. Speakeasy feels like you're playing a normal player. He's doing very similar things. He breaks a few rules, but it's very similar. Inventions was very much not the same. It felt like you were playing against something different. This one, I think, is kind of the same. Now, I will caveat that and say I think that the designs are absolutely brilliant for both of these. David Turczi is one of the goats of modern board gaming. But it does feel like you're not playing quite the same game, and that's an eternal challenge for solo modes, right? You want it to feel as much as possible like you're playing the same type of game. But unfortunately, when you're playing solo, you do need the stakes to change. If you could just do whatever you wanted for as long as you wanted, you would sit there and be optimal, but there would also be no challenge. It's what makes Mage Knight the greatest solo board game ever, is that the AI gets out of your way, but it still does what it needs to, which is put pressure on you to move through the game quickly. It's brilliant, brilliant design. Anyway, let's talk about this bad boy. So, our opponent today is the Saboteurs. They're called the Saboteurs. There's Agent Grey or White and then Agent Pink, and they're bad guys. They're out to destroy lightning technologies. Agent White and Agent Pink to steal information to disrupt Latif's work. So for us to win the solo game, there's 3 win conditions. The first is if our victory points marker ever overtakes theirs at 35, we immediately win and the game ends. The second is if any 2 of these reach the 5th marker on the track, the game ends and we win. And the third one is your CP, you're currently meeting the conditions of at least 4 goals in the goal spaces of your laboratory. I never got to that point in my practice game, so let's see if we can do that. But time runs out and the government steps in if we gain the Nobel Prize, the last experiment tile is placed in the display, the government machine is completed, or all the research spaces in R&D are occupied. I just want to make sure the last experiment tile, I'm pretty sure that's going to be that. Yep, the game ends due to, yep, okay, cool. So really, much like the last few Lacerda games, this is our turn tracker. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've maybe got 10 to 12 turns of this game to make it effective. Which is quite similar to Speakeasy. So let's set up our player board first of all. So we're going to grab the top tile of this. I'll just split that so that people don't think I'm cheating. Not that this is actually at all consequential, but... Okay, so this little guy goes here, however we would like to place it. And then we also start with a random machine part. So I'm just going to take a blue one, because that is random. And I haven't looked at anything to know what that's going to do. We also... that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure that's all we start with. So let's do the Saboteurs. Alright, so we're going to deal a card from this deck. And we're going to pick a spot, as long as this guy goes to one of the main locations. Okay, so Agent White is going to R&D. In the very first turn, they go to the middle worker placement location, and that's it. So then he's going to take an sunshine token and place that over here. And we know that because the sunshine is the highest one. We're now looking for a Agent Pink. So Agent Pink is going here into the center, and Agent Pink is also taking a sunshine. That is terrible for us. That is so bad. All right, the rest of these get shuffled. And then we're going to take one of these cards and place it on top here. So this card is what the agents are going to do in the next turn. So this agent is going to go to supply. This is possibly the worst start I've seen so far. I've tried about 4 games of this now, and it's this is the worst start by far. Okay, my first turn of the game is always a supply turn. So we go to the supply and we can spend our supply for a variety of actions. So those actions are, if we go down to the supply area, we can change turn order at a cost of 1 supply. We can build a robot at a cost of whatever supply it costs. We can take a machine part, a workshop part, sorry, and add that to our workshop display, and that's a cost of 1 as well. And then we can also buy chemicals from this area here too. So lots of cool options. The number one thing in this game though is you need to have robots to do stuff. So we're going to take some robots. So the first robot I'd like to take is this guy. So he costs me 1, 2. But then as a reward for taking him, I get 1 supply back. Where am I going to go here? I'm probably going to go to the pink space, which means I want a chemical to discard that. And then maybe I will take a free robot from that. Okay. Or maybe not. So this is going to be a lot slower than last night. There's still a lot of little things that I'm learning about this game. So if you go to the bottom space, you gain another bot, but without paying any supply vouchers. Yeah, okay, so that's probably the best option for me. So if I go to one of these bottom locations, maybe we'll take that one with 2 chemicals. Let's work towards the ice one. So we want to take a red chemical. Alright, so I'm going to buy a red chemical and any other chemical. I'm going to buy another workshop location. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to place this here. So that's going to replenish that. And now I'm going to, and that cost me 1. So yeah, 2, gain 1. So now I'm going to buy a chemical, which is going to be this blue chemical. Red chemical, sorry. Red, and then I'll also buy a white, which takes me to 0. And then I'm also going to build 1 more robot. And I think we'll go here. Not that one actually, let's take this one. And he goes there. So we have to always store our little guys in our workshop until they're ready to go out on the board. That gains me 1 of these pink vouchers. The vouchers are spent by moving them up and down the tracks to do things. Cool mechanic, not super innovative, but I enjoy how it's implemented in this game. Okay, we're now ready to go. Huzzah! We're ready to start. That was our first turn. The bad guys need some chemicals actually. They get 2 chemicals at random, don't they? Cool, we'll just grab those 2. Boop. I'm sure that's right. Continue to reveal cards. Shuffle 2. Yep, select 2 different chemicals at random. Perfect. All right, g'day match fixer. We're playing another Lacerda. It's crazy. So that setup round is just for us. So we're ready to go. All right. So I'm going to go over here. So going to that location, the first thing that you do is you gain the reward on the space that you've selected. For us, that is 1 voucher for the government symbol. And then because this peanut is here, we actually get a second one. So one of the advantages of going to a space where these guys are located is you get extra vouchers out of it. However, going to the rightmost location on any of these spaces will only allow you to do one of the 2 actions that are available. So at this space here, this action is one, this action is another, and the same here and the same here. The left-hand actions always cost 1 voucher of the specific type. The right-hand actions always cost 2 vouchers. Commensurately more powerful, you would imagine. So, I very much want to take this action over here where I get to take 2 actions. So, we shall see. Alright, so the first thing I'm doing when I come here is I'm choosing an action. As it stands, this is the only action I can do right now. I can't do this action because it requires some other stuff. So I'm going to pay my 1 voucher, like so, and then we're going to place a robot on a location on our map. And we're going to pay extra chemicals to do that. What a wonderful gift. What a wonderful gift. So I'm going to place one of my robots from my board, and we're going to place it over here on this location. So that location requires me to pay a red chemical. So I'm going to pay that red chemical right there, and that stays for the rest of the game. It's a closed economy, really cool, but only the left-hand side ones. I then also have to discard another chemical back to the supply, and the supply is down here, to take that particular location. When you take that location, you get a free robot. So this is what all this stuff is talking me about. Gain a free robot. And then I also take the pink thing matching that space. So let's go back over here. That goes on this spot on my board. G'day in parting. And now I can take a free robot. So I'm going to take one of these 2-cost robots. You can't take these ones until things are unlocked, which we're not able to do as yet. But I'm going to take this robot and I'm going to place him right there. That gains me a machine part of my choice. And now we're going to start to look at this location and see where we're going to spend our machine parts. I don't have any supply. Maybe I want this one for some supply, or maybe actually we'll take this one, which lets me go there for about a machine part. Yes. Okay, so let's take a... Yes, okay. Let's take a white tile. So the machine parts go in our little location here. The robots can also go in those locations, but you always have to have a spot to put them. Quite an interesting concept. Now, we don't have any chemicals at the moment. Boo! But that's okay. All right, so now it's over to the AI's turn. We've finished our turn. So we've taken this action, we've gained our reward. Sorry, we do also get to place this out. So I can place this on any location. I'm going to place it here, down the bottom, and that's going to gain me 2 supply because I covered over this. So what that means now is I'm looking to publish a paper on the influence of snow on our world. Very, very exciting stuff. I really want that, but Professor Latif's a bit so annoying. I mean, maybe this guy will go to here, or that, yeah, we'll just hope for that. Okay, so let's talk about the saboteurs. So their turn is actually reasonably straightforward. the first thing that happens is you pick which one of the saboteurs it is. In this case, it's Agent White. And he goes to this location. He's going to go here. That's very simple. If any model goes to a location where Professor Lateef is, which we have just seen happen, he jumps to the next location. So he's going to move all the way over to here. He will always prioritize the leftmost location. So he's done that. And now, anytime he visits this place or this place, but not his laboratory, he's going to discard one of these tiles. The tile that he discards matches where his little robot friend is in the middle. So he's taken that one and he's discarded that. So that's step one, move him, and if Professor Lateef's there, you move him. Step two, at this place, is absolutely nothing. No? Step two at this place is listed here. So there's actually a whole lot of icons on here. This could be the most iconographical thing I've ever seen. It looks like absolute gibberish, even to me right now. However, I know that these icons refer to the 4 worker placements, and this one I'm pretty sure I've got a handle on. It's either switch turn order, or if you're already first, gain 2 points, and then gain any 2 chemicals. There is a priority for chemicals, which we'll talk about now. It's based on this card. They're going to take from the bottom to the top. So literally, all this guy is going to do is switch the turn order. So he's going to be first, and that's going to happen right now basically because he was the last. And he's going to take 2 chemicals, but he's going to take those 2. That's his turn. Now at the end of his turn, he discards this and he grabs a new one. Oh, that is just the best possible outcome for me anyway. Okay, so that is the end of the turn. So the next thing that happens after everyone's taken their turns is we go and look at the actual weather machine and we find out if an experiment can run. And the way an experiment runs is if the robot is in a row or column rather, where all of those spaces have been filled with other little friendly robots. Now as it stands, that's an absolute no. The second component to that is if there is a matching tile at the top here that matches the weather pattern. For us, it's this one, and so it's not going to happen. So all that happens in this turn, nothing else happens right now. This guy just moves across to the next location. There will be a slight change when this one goes, because there is actually a matching tile. So that's going to get discarded, and he's going to continue his little merry journey on and around the world. Okay, so that's the end of the turn. We don't do any income, and so we move straight into the next round, where unfortunately the yellow team, the saboteurs, are now going first. So we again consult this. Step one, this guy's going to go to here. He prioritizes the rightmost location if the leftmost location is already taken. His priority is A, C, and then B. So he's done on that spot. Again, Professor Lateef moves to the next location. Doesn't trigger anything because that's his workshop and that's all his mates. So nothing happens there. And now, because he's gone in the rightmost location, we're only going to do the bottom part of this action. If he goes, g'day Tom, if he goes to the leftmost location, such as here, then he actually takes both actions on the board. But as it stands, he's not going to take the top action. He's instead just going to take the bottom action. Once again, this is some awful stuff. It's very confusing. However, basically this little thing here says, I want to prioritize gaining a full set. He can do that. So the next thing he's going to do is go and look at this area up here, which you can't see because I'm bad. He's going to prioritize looking at this area where he gets this, and he's going to go, okay, I need to spend a chemical matching one of these colors. Which one does he spend? Well, it doesn't actually matter, but the chemical he's going to spend, he prioritizes the bottom left in position 1, and then 2, and then 3. So he can do this one. So he's going to place this one here. And then what he's going to do is he's going to prioritize the bottommost tile to be removed. So that gets removed from the game. It gets replaced with this. He goes that back to here and he places a little robot on that location. So when he does that, as a final step of his action, he's going to take this and he's going to put it on his board. And now we are going to have to consult the rules on turn 2 because I have not read into what happens when he gets a full set. I was able to block him in all of my practice games. Great stuff. All right. So at the end of the Saboteur's turn, he goes to... No, we don't do final scoring. Okay. So check to see if the Saboteurs wreak havoc. If they have a set of research tokens and the citation space for that weather step is still locked, perform the following. Remove that set of tokens from the game. Done. Take the top extreme weather tile matching the set and place it on the board. Done. Any breakthrough markers? Not happening. Discard the top card of the security report deck if able. Done. That's bad because this is also a loss condition. Remove from the game the lock token corresponding to the specific space. Done. If they have a set of research tokens, no, done. So that's it. Very good. And so a reminder of our loss conditions. At the end of your turn, if there are 2 or more level 3 extreme weather tiles on the board, or at the beginning of the Saboteur's turn, all security report cards are in the discard pile. So they sped up and they work towards that. That's pretty bad for us. However, we can now use a citation for sunlight. So that's their turn. This is going to get discarded and moved over to here, and this one's going to appear. Okay, that could be beneficial for us actually. Professor White's going there too. So, our turn. And now, things have worked okay. We're going to be able to go to here, on this primary location, gain 1 science, and we're going to be able to take both actions on this location. So both actions on this location are very good. Oh, I also need to get one of those, which I forgot to do, because that's the first action that you get. So first thing we do is we're going to gain one of those. That is a funding track. And those don't come into effect immediately, but they will at a certain point in the game. So now I can take both actions on this location. These are very powerful actions. I'm very happy that we're getting to do this. So let's think about which one I want. So I am going to go to this location here. Yep. And I'm going to send a robot. So we're doing this one first. So we choose a spot for a robot. We're going to choose this one right here. I then have to discard a matching machine part from my location. That is obviously a white machine part, and I have a white machine part. And then you take one of these tiles. These are called, I can't remember, funding tiles, I think. And you then add that to your supply on the left of your board. And then you also take a matching token. So I now have a sunlight token on my board. I'm also going to get to take this action. So this is good, I think. I'm spending all 3 of these. So you get both of those rewards and you get to flip it and take that reward. So which one do I want? I really just wanted this supply. So do I take that and that? Maybe I'm better off taking this action, which gets me 2 science and lets me take that action without spending that. Yep, I'm doing that. So I'm going to take this action. So I'm gaining 2 science. Weird science. So I should specify what this action is. So you choose a row and a column, and you gain the benefits of both that row and that column. And then you flip over the tile that matches in between them, and you also gain that reward. So this is a very lucrative space, and why I was excited about going here, because I've got 3 government vouchers. I was able to spend all 3 of them to take both actions, and it's pretty lucrative. So I've gained my 2 science, and I'm now going to flip that And that action is a very special one. We're going to read about it because I want to make sure I get it right. I know what it is, but let's just make sure I've got it right. Yes, perform the research action without paying the required chemical. Take the chemical from the supply instead. So I can go over to here and take any one of these, and that actually gains me the token. And so I'm going to go to the sunlight one, and that's also going to gain me a machine part. So let's do that. I'm sending my robot here to the green, and I then take the chemical from the supply, and that gains me a machine part. And so the machine part that I want, so I'm going to try and use maybe this space again. This space. I'm just trying, yeah, I definitely want that pink thing while it's still there. So we're going to do that one. I take that. That's great. But then I will place it in, what machine part am I looking for? Think, Deno, think. I think I would like one of these ones, which will be blue or red, or one of these ones, which will be red or pink. So let's go red, and that should be pretty safe. Okay. So that was taking the free part from that action that I did here. Now remembering that we're second in the turn order. So that is the end of the second turn. And so we're going to go down to here, and we're going to look at the machine running. So first of all, we go, is this row filled up or column filled up? No, it's not. And so this is not going to run. However, because this matches the weather indicator, that is going to get discarded. This is going to slide across, and this is going to appear here. And now he is definitely going to continually run the machine. All right, so we go to Agent White. So Agent White moves to here. He gains 1 point because I am to the left of him. He is only doing one action though, and it's this bottom action, and he's going to prioritize, first of all, one of these things where he can complete a set. As you can see, he's got none of these tiles, so he's not going to be able to do that. So instead, he's then going to look to this, and he's going to prioritize that, which is here, and he can only do that if he has a matching chemical, which he does. So he's going to pay that chemical there, he's going to take that, and then he is going to replace that little chemical with a robot. This guy's going to go back here, and then he's going to take the bottommost tile, which is that one, remove it from the game, and place a machine part matching that, which is a green. So that's that. Action, done. Well, I feel like I'm getting a handle on these actions. That's actually good. So this card now gets discarded, and this one comes up. So he's going into the laboratory. So if we don't go to the laboratory, he is in fact going to do that. I think I have to go to supply at the moment. Oh, I was also supposed to put these on my board at the end of my last turn. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it in this row here. Here. To gain me 2 supply. That and that. Yep, I'm happy with that. Okay. So I've got a lot of supply to spend now, and that's good because I need some more robots, which is good. So let's send my little guy over to supply, and that potentially lets me take the first turn if I wanted to spend it. So I've got 4 supply plus 3 science. Now, just before I do this, I don't have any robots, so I can't do anything. I need to buy robots. Yes. Okay, so let's do that. I've got lots of places for robots, but I need chemicals. Because I'd really like to go over there and run an experiment thing. We need to have a paper published for that. It's okay. Alright, so if I'm thinking about here, I need to take the sunlight one. And that's going to come around pretty quick. So probably I need to work towards these chemicals here, which is blue, red. So I'd like to take a blue tile. Okay, so the first of my supplies is going to be on this to go here. Excellent, that gets replenished. G'day Raziel. Is there a solo helper app to this? I did not know that. That excites me. I might have to try that out. Yeah, I really am digging the theme of this. I'm just finding the what do I do to be successful part of it is escaping me for the moment. So, but that just comes with time. But yeah, if there's a helper app, I might be taking that. I'll take that and run with it to the bank. But inventions, I think inventions is tough to say. I love this guy's designs, right? He's incredible. I think inventions is a more sophisticated design, would be what I would say. It's a lot more, you know, the way that things interlock is a lot more clever. So that was my first thing. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 2 chemicals. So I want a blue and I want a red. Done. I'm then going to buy a robot, which is going to be this guy. He's going to go here, and that's going to send my government funding up. And then I'm going to buy one more robot, which is going to be this guy, and he's going to send my science up. Okay, so I can go to science now, and that'll be good. Got some robots. Okay, I've used the Civolution app. I've used that, and that if that's the same guy, absolute animal. That app is tremendous. So I'll have to go find that. Is there a website he's got or something? That dude. Amazing. Now, do I want to switch turn order? I think we do. So we're going to spend one of those to flip turn order around, and that's going to happen now. So at the end of the turn, does this trigger? The answer is no, it does not. So that is discarded. These slide across. This comes down. The robot moves across to here. Oh, did you? The actual link? I can't see any other messages above. Wonder if something's happening that's holding your messages. I don't see that on there. Maybe that's a YouTube only thing. Let's find out. Nope, I see no messages above. All right. So now that the turn is over, we're going to switch the turn order, and it's going to come straight back to us. So if we go here to Latif, we can place out a thing there. If we go there, no, we can't. So yeah, I think we have to go here. I can't quite publish a paper yet, but I will be able to get this sunlight thing happening. So that might be nice. There's no reward immediately for this. Oh, actually I can do a citation, can't I? Ooh. I can use a citation because sunlight has already been done. Alright, let me think about that. So if you go to the lab, you can advance, you can pay a chemical, then you can choose a completed row. Yeah. Or you may do a citation. I don't get points, but I would get a robot. And that could be quite useful. The other option is now we go there and we just take another one of those. No. I've got machine parts, but I don't want to go here just yet. So I'm going to go to this location here. And the first thing that happens is I'm going to raise this voucher. Latif's going to go here and he's going to discard one of these. And that's fine, I've already got that one. And now I gain one of those, which is a R&D voucher. And I also gain a science voucher because Latif was there, which is cool. I should have actually had a second science voucher before. I'm going to take that because I'm bad at this game. I could have spent things differently to ensure that happened when I went to there. Okay, now actually that's not correct because he went there. So now I have to take one of these two actions. I'm going to choose this one. I go up there, I spend one of these, and then I place out a robot and I replace a chemical. So I'm going to go here, that's going to go back to there, my robot's going to go here, and this guy's going to go here, and I am going to get that back. However, that will probably cause another one of those to appear. The Crimson Brush was very, very special this year. It was amazing. We had 320 entries, which is basically the same as what our equal best. We had, incredible judges. Albert Moretto Font, who is, just one of the best. And Alexi Petrik from Nico Galaxy. Kaha came over. Just a wonderful time. It was my last one. I didn't really tell anyone that on the weekend. I told a couple of people, but yeah, it was my last one running it. Certainly for the next little while, next few years, I think I'll just take a break from it. But yeah, it was a great weekend. Really, really special. And we have fun. We have heaps of fun just doing dumb stuff. And yeah, the presentation ceremony, I was pegging balls across the room. With all the models that were worth thousands of dollars, I was just throwing balls. Great stuff. I'm actually tempted to do that citation. So when you go to the central location, you can publish a paper. Yep. So that would be take an investment tile. Yeah, that would be worthwhile for me, but we won't for the moment. At the start of my turn though, I'm going to spend this bad boy. So I can flip this bad boy to immediately take this action here. So I gain a government voucher, done. I've actually got a second one up there too, so I've got two robots there. And then I can place a robot out and discard a machine part. I have a robot. I'm going to place a robot Where did I want to go? Here. Discarding this machine part and gaining this tile on my board. So gain that, and then I also take this, that goes onto my board. So that's cool. Now I can place that out, and I'm going to place that out on the top row, which is going to get this moving forward. I'm at 1, 2, 3. I'm at space 3 there, remembering that I need to finish 2 to level 5 to win the game, automatically win the game. Okay, that was my turn, so that's all done. So now, did I do this? No, this is his turn now. Perfect. So Mr. Pink is going to move over to here, and he's going to take the leftmost space. So the first thing he does, he doesn't score any points from that. So now he's going to do this bit. So he takes one of these gold tiles. Boo. And then he does this second thing. So he's looking for a full column for this one. For this area, he's looking to complete a column. So the saboteurs ignore branches that are full, branches where they have no chemicals matching any of the available spaces. Yes, he doesn't have the chemical matching it. Branches where there is no matching experiment tile in the display. Okay, so I think he's going to go to that one. Select the one with the most bots. One of the remaining branches where there is no matching experiment tile in the display. Yeah, I think the best action for him is to go here. He's going to send his blue there. He's going to place his bot here. That's unfortunate for us. A little bit unfortunate for us. And then when he takes that action, he places the chemical back into the supply, and then that's it. That's his turn. So that goes away, and he's going to come back to government funding. So maybe I'll beat him to that. This has not got a complete thing, so this is going to get discarded. This is going to slide across, and this is going to appear. He's going to move to here. So that one is again not going to run, but it is back to us. Now, where do I go? Where do you go, my lovely? Bam, 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 bam. Oh, that's exciting, yes. I didn't get in on that one, and I have got quite a bit of regret, actually. It looks pretty cool. The theme of it is the thing that held me back. And also, they did Chronicles of Drunagor, the same company, which I liked, but it didn't capture my interest for a long time. It just felt like playing sort of a watered-down D&D without a dungeon master. It was good. There was a lot of aspects I really liked, but I'm moving away from a lot of story. But it looked great, the boss battler. So you'll have to share your thoughts on it. I'm really interested. Okay. If I go here, I will be able to spend my 2 science vouchers to double tap an action. And that could be really good. That action there, is that literally do a paper? Or, no, that could work. That could work. Let's double check that action, because I think that's perform the publish a paper. So we can publish a paper. I'm going to be able to do that soon. Tommy, come on, son. Give it up. It's cheap. It's a banger. So I could publish that paper. It's not going to help me as much as I think it will. So what about if I did that action? Actually, that would be better, I think. That would be better. I could gain a robot. Oh, all right. Yep. So I'm going to do this. This is a cool play, I think. I hope. I'm going to go here. So it gains me a science voucher. Bang. I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 to do both actions. The first action is this. I move up here and then I place, I don't have a robot. Oh no. Okay, am I better off going here then and not doing this action? Because I need to unlock a robot. Alright, so if I go there instead, this comes back and I gain this back and this back. No, just that. Then I can choose any 2. So I'm also going to take 2 supply using that action. I still don't have a robot. That's bad. I could buy a robot now. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to go here and here. So I get 1 of those and I get 1 science. And that lets me get a robot. You have to pay for the robot as normal. But I'll do that and that gets me a science. And then actually, if I did that in the opposite order, because you can do them in any order, I then can take this action. And so I will. And I'm going to place this robot in a space where there's a blue tile, because I only have a blue. And that one could be this action, which is take a thing without a chemical. Or it could be here to take a free chemical. Or it could be that one, which is immediately publish a paper. Publishing a paper would be good. You could almost say, it would be nice. This might be terrible. I don't really know. I don't really know. I'm going here. I'm taking that. I'm placing this blue thing here. That gets me this icicle. The icicle comes here. I place the icicle over here on my board. So I have icicles and sun, which I'm looking to get a few more of. Okay, so, and I am in that space now. So now this guy is going to come here, Agent Pink. He's going to go there. He's going to get 2 victory points because there's 2 guys to the left of him. And then he's going to do the bottom action, which is he's going to choose a location where he has a matching thing. It literally has to be this one. He's going to place that there. He's going to put a robot there. That's going to go back to the supply. He's going to take that to his board. No reward for that. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces that gain you rewards. So I've taken most of those already, which is a bit annoying. But so be it. Okay, so that robot goes there. His priority is the highest one, so he's actually going to take that one, I think. And then that's going to get replaced with a white cog. He has already got that book, and so that's that. So that's it. So end of the turn, we do an experiment. Once again, no experiment happening there. So this slides across, this comes down, and this guy moves across. Now we are about to have a successful experiment there. So at the end of the next turn, I need to have a robot here. So I almost certainly have to go to the supply to buy a robot. I do. I do have to do that. However, oh, that's bad actually, because I need to spend 2. Yeah, I need a free robot actually. How am I going to get a free robot? Yeah, so we're going to go to supply. I have no idea if I'm doing well or not. This is part of the thing that's confusing me. Am I doing well? I'm not sure. I feel like I need more robots, so let's focus on that. I can't do this action because I don't have a robot. This one says have 4 robots in that space. I don't have that yet. This one says have 4 of those tiles. I don't have that. This has 4 papers. This has 3 robots in that area. Okay, this has something, and this has 12 total research tokens, maybe. So if I was to go here, I could publish a paper, but I think I have to go to supply. So I'm going to go to supply. Perfect. This guy was actually supposed to slide across like so. Oh, he's going where Professor Latif is. That's good for us. Means income at the end of this turn. That'll be good. That'll be good. That'll actually be excellent. That'll let me do what I need to do for that next turn. Okay, okay. We're cooking a little bit here, I think. I've got no idea. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm just going to spend my 2 wilds to buy this robot, which will be that guy. And he's going to go out on my board. That gets me 1 of any track up. And then I'm going to spend 3 pink R&D and 1 supply to also take this one. That's biochemical. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this one. Oh, that's a free action. Oh, that's sick without doing chemicals. All right, well, I've just completed my objective. So I'm going to go there. That's cool. Okay. And now I've still got me robot. Oof. All right, let's do it. Okay, so Agent White is going to go to where Professor Latif is. That's going to force Latif into his study. He's going to take the bottom action of this, which is placing a robot on a location that matches a chemical. He has no chemicals, and so when he has no chemicals, he discards the top card of that, and he takes 2 random chemicals, which will be these 2. And that's his whole turn. I am 90% sure. Discard the top card, and the saboteurs take 1 chemical from the supply. Alright, and that will be the bottommost chemical, so that. Cool. Yes, I am probably, so no pressure for Big Deno. I'm probably going to start the Oathsworn campaign next week. I think this will probably be the last Lacerda. I do want to try some Origin Story, which I picked up at CanCon. So we'll do that maybe on the weekend. I'd also like to maybe play some Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the trick-taking game. Also pick that up. So that's sort of where my head's at for the weekend. Just some nice, fun little games. And then I might set up for the Oathsworn campaign. And I might even do that at I might go hard on that and just play it all next week. Go from the start. But I've got a few other little ones I want to try as well, so. Yeah. So we do now this thing here. So when that machine runs, and it is actually going to run right now. Let's check that out. So that is at the end of this section. Running an experiment. When an experiment runs, both you and the saboteurs resolve the steps in order as normal. So that's down here. Okay, so the experiment is running, which means all robots go back to the supply. For them, they'll score victory points equal to the number of robots they returned, matching the thing. So he's going to score 2 points. 1, 2. And then for each of the saboteurs' bots, return it to the hideout and raise the target value by the CP depicted on the experiment tile. The saboteurs do not. They also take a research token from the branch if there is still one available, which there is. And that's going to complete a row for them, or maybe not. Place an extreme weather tile as well. No. All right. Then if the experiment does not run, but at least one saboteur bot was present. Okay, so that's cool. So he moves to here, these slide across, this comes down here. When you do an experiment, you get a new extreme weather tile on that location. That's bad. That's really bad. I don't want that to happen. But I've loaded up here. I get the robots back, so that's the good thing. And I'm also going to get 12 points out of that. Plus another robot. Do I get that robot for free? I'm not sure. So, end of the round, we now do income. So, Professor Latif is in his little laboratory, and so he's going to do income. So, for income for us, we just get one of every one of these revealed things. So, I get 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and a machine part. And I think the machine part that I want will be, let's take, I'm going to take a peach one, I think. Yeah, a peach one. Apricots. Okay, so we're now on to the next turn. I've really only got 5 or 6 turns left, I think. So, I've got to make this one count. At the end of this turn, an experiment's running. Where are you going next turn, little bot guy? Your Mr. Pink is going to go here. So, am I best off? What have I got vouchers of? So I could go here, and I could publish a paper, but if I just wait a turn, I can publish it without citation. And that would be really good. Okay, I can take that action though now. I won't do that. If I go to that spot, that'll let me bump up the track. So I could go here, I could gain another one of these, I could place out a robot on this peach thing, and that would let me take that tile. Alternatively, I could take this action, and that would gain me quite a few rewards, as well as that, but no, I don't have the... That could work. So yeah, I think it's silly to publish a paper right now. I think if I publish a paper now, I'm wasting points. Okay, so then I'm either going to there, and I can go there. Yeah, alright, so if we go to this location here, don't get any extra bonuses there, but I do stop him from getting the bonus of doing 2 actions. And then I'm going to place out a robot and spend a blue chemical. Okay, so if we look here, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I get one more blue of those, I go to 5. Here, I'm going to move up this track, and I'm at 4 there. So if I go to this location here, I can spend the blue chemical, and I can move that up there. So then I would only literally need like 1 or 2 more others there. Is that right? Is that all we're going to do? You're currently meeting the conditions. At least 2 of your funding markers are on or beyond the 5th space of the funding track. the space where your marker starts is the 0th space. So here is 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 1, 2, 3. So that would be 5. Okay, well that seems achievable. I've already got that. So I actually get to take one of these tokens right now. And those tokens can be used to do something that is useful, which I will use. Okay, that was my turn. So this guy's going to go. He's going to move to here. He's going to score 1 point to go to 40 because I'm to the left of him. And then he's going to take the second action here, which is place out a robot, matching the thing. Now I think he goes for completed columns for this one. R&D. Start with 3. Select a space. Ignore branches that are full. Branches where the saboteur has no chemicals matching, so he can only go peach. He chooses a branch which gains them a research token that helps them complete a set, so he can't choose that one. So he's going to choose this one. There's no peach there, so it's either of those two, so it won't matter. So he'll prioritise that. So he's going to go here, and his priority is the highest column, so he's going to do there, and he's going to do that, which is going to get him that. Move the research token. Perfect. You do, okay, and you remove the citation from that space. That's what that means. Oh, so I could do 2 papers there now. But that's okay. So that's the end of the turn. This is a good turn, I think. So this guy's going to run this doobie. Now I need to have 2 science. Okay, I can spend 1, 2, 3 to get a second science. So I'll then spend the 2 science and I get 6 times each of my robots who come home. So that's 12 points. I'm on 12 points. Come on. And then I can also take a citation tile or a robot. The robot has to be purchased, is that right, as normal? I don't need a robot, so I'm going to take one of those tiles again. I don't know exactly what they're called. Investment tiles, I think they are. Okay, so that one's there, those slide across, that comes down. So now at the start of my turn, I can do quite a few things that are pretty interesting. The first is I can flip one of these tiles and send a robot out without spending chemicals. If I do that, that bumps my marker up that track 1 space. And then, I think I win this turn, don't I? So I flip this. I send a robot. Oh, and I also gain that tile as well. That's cool. I put the robot over here on a space matching a thing, and I don't need to spend a chemical. So I'll just go here. Don't need to spend the chemical. Move up a track of my choice. It's also this action, so I move up that track, and then I move up this track, and I win. That seems easy. The game can end in 3 ways. You restore the good name of Lightning Technologies. To do this, you must meet all of the following conditions at the beginning of your turn. Oh, not just one of the conditions. Oh, it's all of them. Well, that makes a lot more sense. I was thinking that was way too easy. Okay, well in that case, I definitely don't want to take that one. I will instead take a white one and move up a track. Yeah, that is like obviously very obvious. I won't move up that track, I'll move up this track. And then it's my turn, which means I'm going to place my worker here. and that's going to gain me 1 science, and I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 and take both actions. So, oh, this guy moves across. So now I'll take this action first. Yeah. All right, now we're cooking. So I'm going to take these 2 to get me 2 science, 1, 2, and then I'm going to publish a paper. So the paper that I publish is about the beautiful sunshine. So these, I think they actually stay on my board actually. So that gets me a robot. So I'll spend that and that to take this robot, and he gets me a chemical. I'll take take a green, goes here. So I was get a robot, and I think I also get one of those tiles. Okay. So that was here. Publish a paper. You do it for free. You get to score points for each of those. So those are worth 2 points each. So that's 6 points to take me to 18. And then you gain an investment tile, which I've done. Okay. So at the start of my turn, I can now spend an investment tile, or I can use it to do a thing. But now the second action I'm going to take is I'm going to place a robot on the peach thing. Oh, what do? Do you have to discard these things? Do you have to discard those? That sucks if you do. I do not want to discard those. Let me read. Do you only have 6 spots for them? If you do, there's going to be a riot. No, investment and subsidy tile spaces, these spaces are unlimited. Come on. Good, good. All right, so we're going to a peach, so it's literally one of these. So if I was to go here, I've already got one of these water spaces, water things. But yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to take that. That goes here. And I place the peach thing out. And so I'm achieving that goal already, and I'm achieving that goal already. So I guess we go for this one, like so. And we place that over here. And we move up that track. 5. Perfect. So what I'm going to do start of next turn is I'm going to use one of my investment tiles. So you can spend one of these to place one of these Bobby Dazzlers down on your board. So remember, to win the game, I need to have completed all of these objectives. My victory points must be higher than theirs. It's not. I'm currently meeting at least 4 of the goal conditions on goal spaces in my laboratory, so I need to get more of them on there. And at least 2 of my funding markers. Yes, they are. So we're close. We're close to that. Okay. Okay. So that's not there yet. Cool. So that's my turn. This is getting interesting now. I'm quite interested in this. So that was actually supposed to get discarded. Okay, so Agent White is going to go here. So he's going to get another one of these orange goal or goal things. I'm not sure if he can use those to complete a set. Maybe he can. I'm not sure. I was assuming not, but no extra points. He's going to place out where he matches a chemical. He doesn't actually have a chemical. So he discards that, and he takes a chemical, which will be the bottommost chemical. Needs to go to the supply. Get some chemicals. Oh, Latif was supposed to go to the supply, speaking of. Alright, so it's my turn. If I go to here, I can publish a paper. No, there. I can publish a paper. Cost me 2. I can do that. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to this space here. That's going to get me 2 government funding markers. And I'm actually just going to spend 2 pink. Oh, sorry, at the start of my turn, I'm going to spend one of these investment tiles. I can just go out here. One of those investment tiles to place this goal marker out. And that's going to gain me a bump up a track. Ooh, I'll do that. Which means I can keep that. Yeah, cool. And then I go there, I spend the 2 pink to do the thing that I've done. And that is called have a breakthrough. I choose a published paper, pay science vouchers, and move the breakthrough to that and gain the reward. Build a prototype and gain CP. Oh, okay, I need machine parts, don't I? So if I go to the leftmost space, I will be able to get potentially a machine part. Yeah, so actually instead of taking green, I'm going to take that peach. Yes. Okay, so I think I've just got enough vouchers to do this. So I need to spend 1, 2, 3 vouchers to turn that into a science. And then I've spent all of those. I'm actually going to go to here, which means I have 1 less government funding. So that's fine. The first action I'm going to do is I'm going to raise this by 1. Yeah. Oh, I could get it this way. Anyway, that's fine. And I'm going to send this robot here with a peach chemical to gain a machine part. And I'm going to gain a white machine part. Cool. Then I'm going to do this second action, which is I'm going to take this marker that's from the paper that I've published, and I'm going to place it on a severe weather event matching that colour. So I have to pay 2 science for that. 1, 2. I've literally got not a single voucher left. And then I take the reward on this, which could be 2 victory points. 1, 2. Or it could be a machine part. I'll take a machine part. We'll just say green for the moment, because I don't know what I'm going to need just yet. And then I'm going to gain 2, 4, 6 victory points. But I have to discard that. So that takes me to 26. I'm catching him. And I also gain one of these gold tokens, which I can now move down here, which is going to let me publish a second paper, which is going to get me a lot more points. That's exciting. I just need those vouchers, which I don't have. Is this literally my turn after that? Yeah, I think this guy's supposed to have done this last turn. Yes, he was. Yep. So 2 points. Okay, this is such an interesting game. I wish I could see the bigger picture better than I can right now. That's it. Okay, this guy's going right back here. I'll assume he can't go to the space that he was. So he's going to gain, or did he do that already? No, he didn't. Okay, cool. So he's going to place out a robot matching a chemical, prioritizing one that'll get him a thing. So he'll go to this one here. That'll get returned to the supply. And that's it. At the end of the round, this is going to get dropped away. This is going to slide across. He's going to move around. This is going to move here. We're very close to the end of the game. Okay. I have no supply vouchers. However, I can flip this to take income. So I am going to do so. I should have actually been there because I've used that space at least twice because I did that. Alright, so when you do income, which I do by flipping this tile on my board and spending this, you get to take any benefits from spaces that you've gotten above there. So I can bump up a track here. So I'll bump up the science track. I can gain a chemical. I'll just take a white. And I can bump up a track. I'll bump up this far track here. This one gets me a science. This one, I only get to choose one reward. Okay, I need to read what that means. Funding tracks, it's like page 4 or 5. Executive exchanges. All right, lab funding track. First, gain the science vouchers, then choose one of the other 2 tracks and gain the benefits of that track. What? Offers machine parts and CP. Okay, so I can choose to take 5 victory points because I have 1 machine part there. So that seems like an interesting time to go for that. Okay, I see. It's all about racing. I'm all just trying to catch that guy. Interesting. First, gain science vouchers depicted by the space and every space to the left. Then choose one of the other 2 tracks and gain the benefits of that track. Treating your mark as if it were a number of spaces further ahead of where it is. So I can choose to go 1 space ahead. Wow, so I could literally move up there. I could get another 5 points from that. No, I just go 2 machine parts and then I get 10 more points out of that. Oh, I'm ahead of the guy. Oh, goodness me. Start the fight. Start the fight right now. So just to reiterate, I'm going to choose to take 2 machine parts and then I'm going to choose to take that as my second reward. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think that's where I'm at. So I just need to get 4 gold tiles there. All right, I'm 1 away from that one. I've achieved that one. What does this one say? What does that goal mean? Is that goal 5 different little things? That goal says have at least 5 different types of tokens in your lab column of your office. I don't know what that means. Tokens can be research, award, or citation tokens. Each different type of weather is a different token. Okay, so I have 4. So I've achieved that one. And that's have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I can just get a wind one. Okay, interesting. So I just need to get a few more of those, but we're probably not going to get a lot of time to do that. So we'll see what happens. That was a good time to do an income though. I also gained 1 any voucher. I took science. Yeah, cool. Okay, the bot. I keep forgetting to do that. Alright, so this guy's going to where Professor Latif is. So he's jumping to here. He's going to discard a rain voucher. There isn't one to discard, so that's fine. This guy's going to take first turn off me, scumbag. He's going to gain 2 chemicals going from the bottom to the top, and that's his turn. That is all done. He's now first turn player. So that's going to get discarded. That's going to slide across. Alright, so next turn is going to be the triggering of the end game. Because that's going to trigger. Oh, he's going to finish that too. He's going to get points for that. Ugh. I could dislodge him maybe. I don't have any robots. Okay, I'm going to spend this to take this tile here and place it here and gain a government voucher. And then I'm going to go to the government. Oh, it's him first. Idiot. So white's going to go here. He's going to gain another gold book. If he's supposed to finish with these, I'll look that up. He may be supposed to finish a thing with them. It doesn't specifically say it on the board though. Cool. So yeah, takes a gold token, then he's going to prioritize somewhere where he can place a chemical. He chooses one where the most robots will work, and he'll try and complete a row column thing, so he'll probably go this one. Yeah, he'll go this one. He has not got a matching colour there. Okay, so he has to go this one. He's already paid that one. He could go there. He doesn't have a sunlight. Okay, let's just assume he goes there. Places his robot there. And that's it. That moves across. This goes to here. He's going to chase Professor Latif as well. Now it's our turn. So if we go to the government funding one, and we gain... how do I get another tile? I don't have a robot. Can I go to supply and buy a robot? No. I have 0 robots, which is very unfortunate. I'm not going to be able to afford to buy a robot, so I just need to get a supply token. I just need to get supplied tokens. Yeah, okay, so we have to go here. We're going to get a science voucher from Professor Latif. We're going to spend 1 government voucher and 1 science voucher. We're also going to gain 1 of those. And that's going to let us take this action. And that action that we're going to take is to grab a supply and an R&D, and then flip that to buy a robot, spending that and those 2. And when we buy a robot, we can move up the government funding track. Yep. I'll place that little guy there. Ooh, that's so good. Okay. This experiment runs. This is discarded. He's going to get 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. He's ahead of me. Doofus. And he also gets this, which he's already got. That guy comes back. This guy goes across. And that triggers the end of the game. So the time runs out. If I gain the Noble Pies, the last experiment tile is placed in the display. If this happens, play 1 more round as usual and then proceed to final scoring. Okay. So he's going to go because he's first player. And he's going to bump here, which is going to move Professor Latif there. And I just want to take income again. I needed to get income last turn. Oh, that would have been so good. Yeah, so what are you doing? You're just doing this action. Place out a robot matching that. Sure, I think you go here again. Spend that. And that's your last turn of the game, robot guy. Little doofuses. So my last turn of the game, I think I literally do not have enough to do what I want to do, which is go publish a paper. If I was to publish a paper by going there, I would gain victory points galore. I don't think I actually have the ability to do that. Oh, that's a shame. So I think we're just going to do a little cheeky dodgeroo where we place one of these here as a wild. And we're just going to go here, which is going to gain me one of those. And I'm going to get to spend that and that to publish a paper as my last thing. I'm going to publish this paper. That gets me 2 machine parts. I don't have room for them. Oh, I get to do this at the start of my turn. I can go there without placing a chemical. I might as well go there. Doesn't get me any reward, but I move up that track. Cool. And then I'm publishing this paper, so that's 2, 4, 8 points for that. I get 2 machine parts, I'll just take 1. And I get an investment tile, which I'm not going to be able to use. And that is the end of the game. I've published a paper on something that there's already been published, so we definitely should have put another wind tile out there and possibly another one as well, but I don't think we got anywhere near level 3. So let's go to the end game. Scoring. If you get to final scoring, resolve any remaining experiments as normal. Okay, so we are going to resolve this experiment. So I'm going to gain that tile, and he's going to gain that tile as well. I'll just place that there, I guess. Raise the target value by 30. What? So I will spend... No, that's actually not going to happen. That I lied, because there's no tiles matching that. So no other experiments are triggering. Great. So he's on 73. And that's it. We just have to beat 73. Perform final scoring. I have no idea how final scoring goes in this game. This was really fun. I am hopefully going to try this again tomorrow, maybe. Okay, final scoring. All players in turn order may place any research token or any award tokens they have next to their laboratory and or awards onto empty spaces in their office following the usual rules. No. Players may also use their investment tiles to place or flip a goal. Each player then scores points for the following things. CP for victory points trackers, so that's 5, 6, and 6 is 12. So I go to 53. Then you get points for each of your goal tiles. You get 5 points, so that's 10, so that's 63. And unfortunately, that's it. Well, I thought I was going well. And then if you had the Nobel Prize, you would get 5 more. Nope, so he beat me by... He's 73. He beat me by exactly 10 points. Oh, man. If I just had one more investment tile, I could have flipped that and I would have scored a shit ton of points. That is crazy. That machine parts one is nuts from that funding track. It's 5 points per machine part you have. If that's right, that is just racking up points. Oh no, it's not, it's okay, cool. I'm completely wrong. It's 5 points and a machine part. It's not 5 per machine part. All right, well that's good to know. I'm a filthy cheat. Oh, these actually, they do have names. It's rain, wind, sun, fog and snow. And then the green is Vidino, Melgoth is white, Delugium is peach, Calorium is red, and Radio is blue. That's awesome. I don't know how I feel about this game. I love it, but I'm also very perplexed as to how you're supposed to actually win it. Welcome to playing Vital Lacerda games, I guess. I don't think I made too many missteps there in what I was doing in the mid-game. Felt like I had a nice flow on. Maybe, yeah, I mean, you obviously need to get more of these gold tiles out. You need to try and probably get 4 of those out. I didn't publish 4 papers. I didn't have 5 of those. I had that one. Interesting. Interesting. You don't get a lot of turns either. You don't get a lot of turns. Okay. Well, that was really fun. I'm glad we got to play that. Yeah, that was nice. Okay. Lacerda week comes to a close with some wonderful games of Speakeasy, Inventions, and Weather Machine. I'm pretty confident I've convinced Paul Grogan to play Speakeasy solo. Come on, mate. It's going to be glorious. So that'll be good to watch soon. I do kind of want to try Inventions again, but no. Blocking the bot from taking double actions. Yeah, the very first game I played of this, which was not against the bot, or sorry, was against the bot, he didn't publish a paper, he didn't do anything, because I just kept denying him the spaces and denying him those tiles. But that game he started with 2 of the same element and was able to publish a paper straight away. I don't know what effect that really had on the game. Oh, Speakeasy is number 1 on my list of Lacerdas. On Mars, number 2. On Mars, I've yet to play solo, but Speakeasy I've played both multiplayer and solo. Tremendous game. Yeah, it's easy number 1 at the moment. On Mars might match it if I play solo and I'm like, yeah, this is actually really easy to run. It's not going to be easy to run. It's going to be the hardest bot. Anyway, because that game's a pork chop to try and put a bot into. It's hard to say. I think probably Inventions is slightly ahead of this at the moment. Hard to do a ranking of these games. All right. Very good. Very enjoyable. So, if you've got Rome, Fate of an Empire, Tom, you're a superstar. That is going to be, well, if you're anything like me, which I think you probably are a little bit like me, given that you're watching my streams, I think you'll love it. It's a great combination of Mage Knight and the Roman Empire. It's sick. Maybe I should play that. Haven't tried On Mars with the Alien Invasion expansion. I know there's a specific dedicated solo scenario in there. I looked into it a little bit. I decided that, and this is more of I'm just going to start packing up while we do this. This is more of a wide-reaching conversation. My friend Luke said to me a few years ago that he stopped buying expansions, and I said to him, "You're an idiot, mate. Like, expansions are the best." And he said, "But every time I buy an expansion, maybe we play it once, and sometimes we play it and we're like, I don't really like it as much anymore because the game feels more complicated and more elaborate." It's not always the case, but it was the case often enough for us that we stopped. We all sort of stopped buying expansions unless they genuinely made the game better. When I say we, I mean pretty much everyone in the gaming group that I'm with except for me. I can't help it. But when I look back at all the games I've played, there's not many that I think are made genuinely better by expansions. So let me look at my thing. And when I say expansions, I mean things that add additional content to the game, not just like extra factions or races that are sort of basically the same. So Uprising, still on the fence. Nemesis, I've used the Carnomorphs once and I've used the Void Seeders none. So none of those work. Euthia, I've only ever played the characters from there. I've only played one of the scenarios, which I actually did on camera. It was pretty fun. Old King's Crown, haven't used any of the expansion for that. Rebirth, I've only ever used the core 6 Schools of Magic, have not used any of the others. Blood Rage is one where I think the expansions add a lot of value. Rising Sun, the same. Twilight Imperium, definitely. Mage Knight, the Ultimate Edition, is pretty much what you need anyway. Root, the Root expansions are pretty good. Earthborn Rangers was fine. Yeah, so I guess it's just a thing that we observed, that expansions weren't really hitting the table as frequently. So we just decided that we would start being a little more cautious when we purchased expansions. And for the most part, it's been a positive decision. I don't think any of us have been upset that we didn't get a specific expansion. On Mars, it falls into that category for me, Alien Invasion. I've looked at it a number of times and I've thought, yeah, yeah, maybe. Is it gonna be worth it? Where is that section? Like that. Where do these go? Here. Maybe it is great. Maybe I'm just wrong. That would be okay. I would be fine with that. Oh, look at all of these things that have their space, their spot ready to go. Oh, I love it. I love an organizer. We played a game of TI and we introduced 2 new players to it. And those 2 new players had never played, and so we did not introduce any of the expansions that are available in the game. And that was a great decision because the game is overwhelming. Now, when I play that game with my friends, we play the heck out of it, expansions and everything. We have a great time. I don't think that I would recommend that game as a game to play with people that are interested in using lots of expansions on the first time. It's just such a ridiculous game. Is that where these go? surely. They are definitely not going to fully fit there. Yes, they are. Excellent. This goes here. The two agents go here. Latif and his little robots go in here, I think. Yeah. That little guy goes there. Latif goes there. The little lock tokens go in there as well. Oh, I love these organisers so much. So much. I don't know much, but I know I love this organizer. And that may be all I need to know. I put that in the wrong section. You idiot, Deno. Yeah, I'm confused by that. How do I actually score more points? The only way you score points is by doing a research paper or doing a thing. So you just literally need to be research paper, that, research paper, that. So maybe that's where I was going wrong. I was getting very excited about these blue tiles in this government space, but that's crazy of me to think that the government would help us. Yeah, is that... I'll have to go and rewatch Shaggy's playthrough and see, because I think I don't know if he won actually, but I'll go check it out. Maybe if he won, I can get some insights. That's Shaggy at Totally Tabled. He did a playthrough of this game a little while back. You understand what I'm saying though, Tom, right? Like, it's just... Yeah, Slicker Drips has one too. It just feels hard to figure out how to be efficient when you aren't generating that many little vouchers. It feels complicated to try and... So, based on my play... I started playing this today, Mark, and hello to you. So I learnt it today, and I played it for the first time properly tonight. I would say, I think the solo mode, it's very well designed, definitely. I'm trying to think about how to describe how I feel. It's a very cleverly designed game, as all Lacerdas are. What does that go like that? Yeah. And what I've struggled with is understanding how to score points in the game in that solo mode. I think if you've played this game multiplayer first, that would actually make the game better and or easier, because you would be understanding how the game works and then trying to score points. Yeah. So if you've played multiplayer, I would recommend it as a solo game. I really enjoy the concept, I really enjoy the theme, and I think there is a very good game in there. I'm going to try playing it multiplayer with my friends and see if they enjoy it before I make a decision on where it sits. This one looks fun though. This one also has a solo mode. Oh, look, paper wrapping. I love that. Let's just be a tiny bit better for the environment every time. Not as good, plastic wrap, but these ones I think are from recycled materials, so that's cool. If you don't know anything about this game, it's a superhero deck buildery thing. Does this flip open? Ah, cool. Sylvia. Oh, yeah, it's a trick-taking game as well. Trick-taking? Deck building? It might not be deck building, it might just be trick-taking. Victor. And in each round, it's 5 players too, you decide if you want to be a hero or a villain. And if you're a hero, you win points for each trick you win. But if you're a villain, you get points if you win 0 tricks. This has gotten some pretty cool reviews. And for a nice little quick game, I reckon that could be a bit of fun. So we're going to try this tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe not. We shall see. I'll be back on Sunday morning playing or painting some models. I know I don't really talk about my model painting much on this stream, but I'm going to get one of my models that I finished today and show it off. Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll zoom in. Let's see if my zoom's going to work for this. So I finished painting this today. We'll have to do this. So this is the 7 dwarves. Cool, man. That camera's not too bad. It doesn't pick up the details quite as well, but yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I posted a video of it on my Instagram. It's fun. It was fun doing all these little dwarvy guys. Nothing on the back. So if you want to see more detailed, go to my Instagram. Fun. Anyway, I'm more of a painter than I am anything else. I just do the games because it's fun. Cool. Alright, I'm going to learn how to play this. And what's the time? Nah, it's too late for me to learn how to do this tonight. I spent a lot of time learning. Freaking. Oh, these got left and... Oh no, I've done a mistake. I've done a mistake. Whoops. I don't know. Oh, that's the first player. Ensure you attach the numbered wheels with the correct colour facing up. The VP number should read the same on both sides of the assembled dials. Okay. I think I understand. Should be fine. They are glorious beards. That's a sculpt from Lucas Pina. He does a great job with beards. Alright, so this... Oh yeah, so that... left, right, left, right. Okay, so this should 901. Okay, so this one is this side. Cool. One. Boop, boop, boop. Perfect. One side working. So this one needs to be a left, which should be like that. Excellent. See, I'll be painting on Sunday, and I'm going to paint. Oh shit. All right, good recovery. I can fix it. We can rebuild it. We have the technology. Good call. I'm glad you're here. I would have done all of them probably. See, I'm too tired for this. I shouldn't have done this. I'm too tired. So that one we can pop out. That's fine. Oh, this is going to be bad. Oh, no, we can do it on that side. That should be fine. How many of these do we get? 1, 2. Okay, well, let's hope I'm not playing this 5 players much. I've mangled this a lot. Well done. Good recovery. Good recovery. I won't tell anyone if you don't. Raziel, I actually have a full Marvel Champions collection just behind Rome Fate of an Empire. In there, it is all up to date, and I think I've actually got a number of Marvel Champions playthroughs on the channel from a little while back. Like that. Cool. I think I played most of the... I did a Rise of the Red Skull campaign on the channel, and I also did a... I played the Venom Goblin scenario, I think, maybe. Or maybe that was just the Venom scenario. Anyway, Marvel Champions I love. I have not yet played Lord of the Rings LCG. I know that Joe Clipful, who designed Radiance and who designed Lord of the Rings, the trick-taking game, is cited that as his inspiration. So I do think I would like it. However, I've said this a number of times, I really feel like I've only got time for one of those big LCGs in my life. Like, I haven't even played Marvel Champions in a while. So, did they just do? They just did a remake of the LCG one, didn't they? The Lord of the Rings. They just started releasing major sets again. Which is probably a good time to get into it. here's the thing. So we just played. I said this last night on my stream last night. We just played 18 games of the Lord of the Rings trick-taking game, the Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game at CanCon. We basically played through the whole campaign. We got to the scenario where the Balrog and Gandalf, and they made it feel like it was actually happening in a trick-taking game, and it was the best. Because Gandalf, the card for Gandalf is the wielder of the sacred fire, the flame of Udun, and it was awesome. It was so awesome. Look at that. Cool. So yeah, I love Lord of the Rings, and I really do think that game would be up my alley. A friend of mine, Sheldon, he's got every single Arkham Horror expansion. Every single one. And I've played through 3 of the campaigns with him. I've played through the Yellow King one. I think it's called The Path to Carcosa. It was cool. And then I've played through the core box, the Dunwich Legacy. And then I've played through the red box, which was really fun, actually. That one was cool. You're becoming like a knight of something. I just never want to buy it all myself. But I've got all Marvel Champions, so if he wants to play Marvel Champions, we can play Marvel Champions if we want to play that. But we don't have anyone who's got Lord of the Rings. Alright, I know nothing about how this game plays. I just read some good reviews. I'm just going to open a deck of cards and see what they look like. Okay, the Shimmer Super Suit. Shockwave, ultimate ability. Gadgets. This is cool. I think Radiance is an absolute steal. I think it's going to be one of the coolest games of the year. I don't know if you're in the Discord, but they've just started popping in artwork, the new artwork. It looks so good. So they're doing individual art for each character and each card, and they just look. I'll show you. I'll load it up because it's so cool. This isn't private information, I don't think. I don't think, because this Discord is available to look at. Let me just load it up. Yeah, so I'll just show you some of these. Have a gander at some of these little Bobby Dazzlers. So this is the map, the world map. Which is sick. And then this was Joe's original drawing for the world map. Card backs, treachery, location. So good, the Dusk deck and the Doom deck. That is sick. These are the little shades, the little versions of the bosses. So these are their own unique artwork, which is not currently get that Wrath one is sensational. But yeah, some of these card arts. Yeah, so this is, I can't remember each of the card names. Sick. Oh yeah, Wayfarers Ever Onward, Foresight, and Light the Path. Look at that, that is so sick. That is so sick. That's Wisdom, one of Wisdom's cards. What is that? That's awesome. Oh yeah, this is Wisdom. He's blind. He's a legend. Scout ahead. Look at that. So the game is just going to look just so good. It's going to look so good. Anyway, there you go. So you can join the Discord. That's not private information. I don't believe. So yeah, it's going to be good. So this is a trick taking game. I'm so excited for this now. We had such a good time with the other one. That's cool. I might have to sleeve these. I went all in as well. I paid all of my cash money available for that moment. Dwarves. All right. Thanks for joining me all tonight. Hopefully we provided some entertainment with a bit of Weather Machine. Lacerda Week's been great. Inventions is probably going to come back onto the table soon. I would say early next week maybe. Maybe before I get into a Oathsworn campaign. Maybe not. We might go into an Oathsworn campaign. That does sound like fun. I'd like to do that. You will have to be subjected to some unpainted models because I'm not going to be able to keep up with the pace. But let's see what happens. What are these? Oh, this game is exciting me. Vesuvius. What is this game? This is going to be sick. Cool. All right, I'll catch you all again soon. Definitely on Sunday morning painting models, if not before.